I'm gonna critique this property, so if you decide to buy, design, build a property yourself, you won't make the same mistakes. I'm Arvin Haddad, I'm the How to Buy a Mansion guy. Let's watch this one together.
This is the biggest and the most expensive home currently on the market in the United States with an asking price of $295 million.
Okay, hold it right there. When this property was under construction, the price that was being floated by the real estate agents was $500 million. One of the reasons why this property ended up at auction was because it wasn't priced right.
It is also the most requested episode on our channel.
Same with my channel. Everyone wants to do this video, so this is for Christmas. Merry Christmas to you guys. Let's do it together.
The One is a property that has been legendary to all Angelenos for the last 12 years.
Okay, yes, it's been known to all Angelenos. Everyone knows about this property, but not for the right reasons. You will find out later in the video.
And the reason why Angelenos have followed this property is because there are so many changes that have taken place now in Los Angeles which don't allow you to ever recreate this. For one thing, there are nearly 30,000 cubic yards of dirt. 30,000 cubic yards of dirt that were removed, excavated to create this.
Okay, let's pause it right there. Did you hear what it said? This was like a regular hill. It was pointy. And they just snip-schnopped the top of the mountain, okay? Snip-schnopp. And then they've made the flat area even bigger. I salute them for, trying to create a really flat area, great promontory to build a property. But no one asked them to build a 105,000 square foot home. That was their decision. And you will find out in this video that that was one of the biggest mistakes. To get a huge, unparalleled exit, let's say $300 million, $400 million, you don't need to be the biggest property in the world. You could get that by 30,000, 40,000 square feet. And that was a really wrong assumption that I've talked about in my channel, where a lot of developers immediately try to maximize the square footage to get a big exit.
And you were on 4 acres, almost 4 acres, up the longest driveway you've ever seen and landing on top of the hill.
Do you see when I say a white box? From some angles, it looks very boxy, but then on other side, it has a curve. So in some ways, it's some sort of a modern, contemporary freeform, but not really. But what I care about is the essence of the building. The essence of it, the look of it, the feel of it is a white box.
We're gonna start our tour on the motor court. Long driveway brings you up here, and halfway through the driveway, you actually have an entrance point to your subterranean garage. And behind the property, we also have an amazing detached guest home.
Okay, I love the guest house a lot more than the actual house. It was actually practical. We will cover that later in the video, but pay attention to the approach because the approach is amazing.
Now coming here, we have this paved floors, palm trees, amazing scale. And coming to this section, we have the marble walkway taking you to the front door.
Okay, the door looks tiny for the property. Now, the door is pretty big, but it's not up to scale for the rest of the property. But that's just the beginning of the problems. To me, this looks like a freaking desk of a dentist office, right? That front facade. Very uninspiring. It really did not do the private driveway, the anticipation justice. And then you have a moat around you with no railing. It's just as cold as it gets. And I would say the facade of the building is perhaps the most disappointing part of the property because the lot itself is magnificent.
And coming here, we have a fingerprint scanner and your marble door actually recesses into the wall. Now coming here, this is where we have the spacious foyer. Oversized marble on the floors. We have this art installation
that looks like an ingrown hair from the inside view. But let's talk about the foyer. Look, it definitely matches the scale of the property. This has to be the biggest foyer in the world as far as like modern architecture goes. But what's really disappointing again is that it's just so plain. If I was involved in consulting on this project, right off the bat, after seeing the design, I would tell them, whatever you do, don't go with all white tone because it's going to take all the energy out of it. This is a place where you can use darker floors, darker walls, because you have so much scale and so many windows all around that will, only make the place actually more cozy. It won't take away the volume from it because it has enormous amount of volume.
First, we're gonna check out the office. Now, before we get there, on our right-hand side, we have one of the staircases going up to the second floor, and coming here, we have the office.
I like the location of the office. It's by the front, it's separated from the rest of the house. It's definitely on the narrower side, but again, I'm not going to complain so much about the volume because you have that window that kind of opens it up. It doesn't, make you kind of suffocating. But again, the finishes, lacquered black finishes with LED. This is just so plain, so generic luxury.
Right above us, we actually have a balcony looking down on this room.
You can hire a DJ to come play a set while you're working. It's the perfect spot for it.
Bringing everybody back to the entry, again, we have the staircase on our left going up to the second floor. This opening takes us to a beautiful powder room with a marble pedestal sink.
Okay, here's another example, like no wood elements so far. Have you noticed? And instead, you went with tainted mirrors. You got to know modern could get really cold on even small scale. Like that's your downfall, right? You gotta foresee that.
And coming here, we have the main lounge.
Can you spot the flaw? I'll give you guys 3 seconds. I sometimes pause the frame and ask my subscribers to spot the flaw because it's a muscle you have to exercise. 3, 2, 1. The height to width ratio is completely off. Now, you're thinking, Arvind, this is a massive roof. It doesn't matter. It has a lot of glass. But look at the shadows. This is in the middle of the day, right? The sun cannot penetrate this deep. We didn't have this problem in the foyer, right? It was double height ceilings.
You have this beautiful art wall with this 20-foot fireplace.
Do you see the wallpaper? I hate it when you can see the lines between the wallpaper. It's just really cheap set out. And again, they went with really white tones, kind of silver, silky finish. They use this wallpaper all over the house, and it just really washes out the room with the white marble floors. It just boring, cold.
These are good sized couches and sofa setup, and it's insane. And you have another one over there.
This is the secondary lounge.
Okay, so you have 2 massive seating arrangements right next to each other, but there's no functionality. This is your formal living space. This would have been a great place to put a bar. Break up the spaces, maybe make one of them like a reading area. If you don't give an excuse for people to hang out in the place and you're solely relying on the view, you've made a mistake.
This is where you have the most explosive views in Los Angeles. You have the grand piano oversized.
It looks so small for the space.
And it has one of my favorite art pieces, which is the Murano glass. It's the angel wings. And you know what that's for? Because this view is why they call it the City of Angels.
Wow, Brandon, I didn't know you took theater in high school. This is pretty cool. Okay. The statue sucks. That would be one of the first things I would take off. It just cheaps out the property. The core design element is cheap, and you're asking for the biggest exit. It's not the ultra luxury vibe. It's like a Costco vibe for the ultra rich.
And coming here, we have the formal dining room area. Gorgeous table right in the center that currently sits 16 people, but I'm sure you can add a few more chairs on each side.
It's humongous. I like its position. It opens up to the backyard, and obviously the scale is fantastic. Huge ceilings, huge setbacks from the walls. But again, it's just cold around. I mean, they've attempted to change the wallpaper on that side, but it's just, you need to do a lot more to warm up this modern.
This entire glass panel actually goes into your walk-in wine cellar that is temperature controlled. And these are for your big bottles. And you have seating areas within your wine cellar.
Okay, I guess it would make a backdrop for your dining room, but I don't think you should put your best bottles here because there's a lot of natural light coming in, and that's never good for like expensive bottles. But, again, it's very, generic luxury.
And coming here, we have an amazing opening with this art installation that starts from the second floor ceiling, goes down all the way to the lower level, complemented with a water feature. This is a polished chrome piece, and I'm sure just the installation of this sculpture took over a year.
It took over a year just to install it? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Come in here, we have another staircase going up to the second floor.
Okay, these staircases are really important because this is a massive property. I've walked this sucker and it's huge. You need multiple stairways connecting to upstairs. Otherwise, just forget about it. Like you got to bring birds and, scooters around and just scoot in the house to get upstairs from this side to the other side.
And this is where we have the art gallery. Just an open space. On our right-hand side, we have the moat off of the entry.
Okay, this opens up to the entry. That's really cool because you're kind of showcasing your art to people who are walking in.
And at the end of this hallway, we have a guest bedroom. So let's go quickly check that out. Seating area off of the entry, king-size bed.
Washed out, all white. It's just too plain. I think some of the LA developers, if you're targeting the Gulf countries, and I really believe Naomi in other interviews, he's mentioned like he wanted to target this towards the Saudis and Kuwaitis and the Qataris. You should go visit what they're building there. They are extremely ornate and they really spend a ton of money on the finishes. And if you're catering and designing for them, they will come look at this and be like, this is crap. This is like my maid's freaking quarters, right?
Let's quickly check out the bathroom. It starts here, marble floors.
Look at these finishes. I bet you some of you guys have the exact same tile pattern in your, $2-3 million home. And this is the one, or as the Persians like to say, Devon. It's just not up to par. This would be maid's quarters for them. And you're thinking, well, Arvin, the square footage is so big, they just couldn't do it. Well, then don't do, 105,000 square foot. No one put a gun to your head to do it. You could have had a $300 million exit with a smaller home if you've made it fantastic. Now you're thinking, Arvin, bigger exit with less square footage? Yeah. You can do that because that's what the buyers want. That's what the ultra luxury buyers want. They want a more of a subtle design. Now you're like, Arvin, so tell us how you would design it. I would have loved to see a humongous 20,000 square foot one-story in pavilion style with a massive, again, 20,000 square foot basement with maybe 16-foot ceilings. Then you really accomplish that one-story living, second home vibe. In the basement, you get to give all the gadgets and, the fun toys that Americans really gravitate towards. So you kind of kill two birds with the same stone. I think an architectural firm, again, not a sponsor, I just really love their work, is Jacobson Arquitectura from Brazil. They really specialize in these pavilion style homes that really, give you that vacation home vibe. Fantastic firm. Again, I've never worked with them or never spoken to them. It's not a plug. I just admire their work.
Now coming back to the hallway, we're gonna go this way. We'll be walking a lot in this home. I mean, Mikey, look at the scale here.
Look at the hallway. Look at the width. Fantastic. 3-4 people can walk comfortably shoulder by shoulder. Very well done.
Double doors open up to your library. Now I say library, but this room actually has built-in ventilation for a cigar lounge. Seating area right in the center. Vintage Playboy covers on this side, which is a unique detail, and I personally love those wall sconces.
Oh, I thought he was going to say, I personally like Miss July.
Ines, there's a bunch of vintage Playboy covers on the wall, and you're talking about brass wall fixtures.
I'm just trying to keep a straight line here.
What are you trying to do, Mikey? You're trying to give the guy a cantilever? Come on, that's exactly what I would have done. I would have been, this is work, focus, don't look. Don't look.
Let's go back to the hallway and continue our tour. Come in here. This is where we have the family room and the kitchen. I'm going to start our tour on the kitchen. It is super sleek.
So wait a minute. The porno room was right next to the kitchen? Are you serious? That's not a great place to put that, right? Like the cigar lounge, whatever, it's right next to the kitchen. I feel like the positioning there was not great.
Waterfall edge on the island. This is for sure one of the biggest islands we have ever seen on this channel.
Can you spot the flaw? I give you guys 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. No breakfast nook. A property of this caliber, again, you gotta think, how can I make it like a home? In the design, you should see that. You should be like, it's not gonna feel like a home. I need to open up the demographics. I want the owner to feel like a home, right? Again, a lot of these designs go on this idea and this false pretext that every buyer is a bachelor and every buyer wants this bachelor home and we should cater towards them. Why would you do that? Try to make it everlasting property for the property to have longevity, right? Try to cater to different demographics. And I don't think a bachelor guy is going to hate a breakfast nook. You had a perfect place for it right there by the window. You could have had a really cool, interesting breakfast nook that connects to the kitchen very easily and just made it a little bit warmer.
Now, let's go back into the family room so we can check out the seating section over there. 2 L-shaped couches, gorgeous coffee table right in the center.
This looks like a formal living space, doesn't it? And then you introduced a black marble instead of like a wood element. We haven't seen a single wood element on the inside. Nothing. Nada.
And sliding glass doors opening up to the outdoors. Mikey, let's go check it out. And I also want to mention, they're still putting some of the finishing touches in this estate. They're still working certain areas.
Well, guess what? This property, when it sold, it didn't get its certificate of occupancy, meaning you cannot move in there till the city approves it. And that's another major reason why this property sold in auction at a huge discount below replacement cost. It just alienates a lot of buyers. When you already at this scale, you can't afford to make too many mistakes, right? You've already gone with a cold design. You didn't cater towards families. You targeted the Saudi, Gulf country, maybe the Chinese buyers, which didn't even do the finishes that they like, right? You went with American finishes, generic modern finishes that we see in luxury homes in the United States. And then you didn't even finish the property, meaning the buyer has to spend millions to finish and get the certificate of occupancy. And that's a huge risk to the buyer. A huge mistake. Huge mistake.
As soon as you walk in, downtown Los Angeles is right in front of you. This is just incredible. The views here, the scale of this property, the scale of this backyard. In fact, Mikey, let's take everybody to the grass section.
Okay, this is about an acre of backyard. It's huge. In person, it's just massive. It's really big backyard. And the views are amazing. I mean, it's fully panoramic. It's a 10.
From any part of the first floor or the second floor, you'll look at your views undisrupted.
What is this view called? I'll give you guys 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Jetliner view. You see how the view just drops? It's because it's completely unobstructed.
Now we're coming to the side backyard. Let's just call it that. We have the jacuzzi here, which is oversized. Marble floors, even on the outdoors. That's your covered patio space right there with a massive built-in TV.
Okay, this is good. Good to have it, outdoor furniture set up by this huge TV. I think this area would actually get used because, it's LA and you can spend, time by the pool even in January if the weather is good.
And this is your main pool that has 3 infinity edges, marble clad, mosaic on the bottom, and you get so much outdoor space. I mean,
did you notice? Even the decking, they went gray. Like they just had like natural wood color. No, we're not doing it. Sorry. It's like there's no warmth into this house.
And I want to particularly cover this section because you have so many more amenities on this wing. You have an outdoor dining area, another covered seating.
So now I'm thinking like they just didn't know what to do with this. See, this is one of the problems when you commit to the biggest square footage that you can build because you feel like just because you can, you should. Like this should have been a pool house. You don't need 2 seating arrangements on each side of the pool.
Now I want to take everybody back inside so we can check out the lower level. Here we are on the lower floor landing. Before we continue our tour here, I want to turn back and talk about this floating marble staircase.
Please don't. Please. It's just the staircase coming down, floating. It's like, stop with the floating stuff. It's fine. It's just the staircase. It has multiple ones. That's what you should know from different points. The actual vertical connectivity is not bad.
First, we have this art gallery space here. And I want to take everybody this side.
So from the moat upstairs, you get natural light coming over here. So it's pretty cool.
This door actually opens up to the subterranean 50-car garage.
This garage is massive. I mean, it's really good for a car guy. If you have a crazy car collection, it's fantastic.
They're still working on the house and finishing some of the areas.
And they're still working on it today. It still hasn't finished.
Now, coming back here, marble floors throughout. I want to talk about the future wall that's in front of us with the butterfly details and the portraits.
I mean, what is this? Are you, again, who's your target demographic? Do you think the Gulf countries, they're going to come and be like, love this art? No, they're freaking hanging out, Leonardo da Vinci on their freaking yachts. Butterflies. Come on, man.
I mean, look at this hallway here. This is incredible. Now, we have a seating area on this side.
That will never get used. Like, why the hell would you come down here?
And we have 2 guest suites on this level. First one starts right here. Spacious room.
God, the finishes just went crazy low. Look at this. This is like, you know, a new hotel in Bangkok. Come on.
We have this hallway taking us to the second guest suite on this level. Same finishes, darker carpet on the floors.
Same. Good scale. Pretty large freaking room. But again, square footage was never the problem. Square footage, they had plenty. You know, that's what they gave you. They gave you the square footage and really, really low end finishes.
Now, coming back to the landing, we're gonna go this direction. On my right-hand side, we have the elevator access and some utility access. And come in here, we have another lounge area. The amount of seating areas in this house is kind of mind-boggling.
It's so wasteful. It's so wasteful.
And right here, we have this marble table right in the center of this room. And this will essentially be your wine cellar, storage areas. They're of course temperature controlled.
Again, you see, even in the wine cellar, you don't see the warmth. If there's one place where you should really try to make it warm is the wine cellar, right? No, not allowed.
Incredible. I'm out of words. Another bar.
What the hell is this? Is this your wine tasting area? Why does it look like this? Why is it black and white? Again, they just did not want to use any natural wood at all.
Of course, you have your sink, fridge, another seating area behind it, another seating area on this side.
What is that seating area for? A gaming area? You play cards? I don't know. They just had so much square footage, they didn't know what to do with it.
This is the brains of the house. And they spent so much money and it takes so much space that they wanted to make it a feature wall kind of a section. That's why they have this enclosed glass here.
It's just, they're like, okay, what are we going to do with this room? Let's make it a wall so people can see all the computers. Again, too much space.
These are locker closets and kind of like basically full-size bathrooms, his and hers, for your gym. When I say gym, I'm not talking about like a couple 100 square foot room. I'm talking about an amazing space.
Okay, this is a pretty massive gym. Amazing. I kind of like this Fashion Nova guy who purchased it. He will actually use this property. He can really like actually leverage this property to get amazing content. You
literally have everything you can think of. I like these ceiling mount TVs, darker carpet here.
Carpet? I don't know about having carpet in the gym. That's like gonna get dirty so fast and sweaty. That should be like, you know, the bouncy stuff, really like soft stuff. So if you drop weights and stuff.
And right on the other side, we have a juice bar. I say juice bar.
All I see is how many fridges you have to keep full and keep refreshing. There's so many bars and fridges and everything just to maintain like all the produce to be new and fresh. It's a whole job of someone just filling up the fridges.
All right, ready? Indoor pool.
That's an anomaly in LA. A very, very few homes in Los Angeles have indoor pools. It just doesn't get that cold. But having an amazing indoor pool, why not? And I think it's a pretty massive lap pool would actually get used.
This is a full-size salon. Maybe a full-size.
See what I'm saying? This Fashion Nova guy gonna have makeup line. Come on, let's say do a photography. Like the property actually found its best buyer, right? At freaking a massive discount. But again, I think, you know, all the models getting ready, I will actually give this property utility. It's great. Great for him.
Now coming back here, your spot continues. And over here, we have the steam shower, heated benches where you sit down. And in fact, they have water lines on this section. So you basically get water poured on you.
It's like a Costco freaking steam sauna. Like come in, get the job done, get out.
And come in here. From an interesting angle, we just came to the bowling alley.
I think Ennis just accidentally found the bowling alley himself. But look at this. 4 lanes. Like the biggest I had seen in person before this property was a 2-lane. 4-lane is massive. But again, it's a very generic design. It just doesn't have that oomph, right? Give me the freaking oomph.
So another hallway. This hallway takes us to a candy room.
Look at this. This is the most amount of color I've seen in the whole house. It's all black and white or mostly white. This is really cool. You immediately want to go fill up your pockets with these, right? Like so freaking awesome.
And it's located perfectly right off the entry of the movie theater. This is a commercial movie theater and it's so decked out with the carpet, plush walls.
This is by far the biggest movie theater I've seen in a residential property, maybe by like 2x. At the same time though, it just doesn't feel ornate. You can't do that. If you're going for a home run, you can't give a Costco style movie theater to the audience, right? That's not their expectation. That's not what they're used to. If you want to attract the royal families, this would be really plain for them.
We have seen a lot of amazing movie theaters. I mean, a lot throughout the world. But this one takes the win for me.
Size-wise, yes, it's the biggest, but is definitely not the nicest.
And that wraps our tour on this level or on this part of this home. I actually want to take everybody outside so we can check out the nightclub.
This is the charity event room. What would you call this room?
I would call it a nightclub.
Good job, Enes. Got the answer right. This is the nightclub to the property. It's positioned to capture, the downtown LA view, which looks really good at nighttime.
Huge dance floor, huge outdoor fire pit club.
You know how many people you need to invite for that dance floor to look full? You can come in 20 people deep and it will look like the party's dead. You better invite the whole club and the club next door.
Here we are on the second floor landing.
Natural wood. We got it on the upper level. Thank God. But then they went with the sway walls. Come on. He got an amazing deal on that sway wallpaper. That just does not work. Again, you could have gone darker. You have the scale. You're not going to make the room smaller. And if you actually do, that's a good thing. You want to make it look a little bit smaller. Yeah.
We have 4 bedroom suites on this level. Let's check out the first one here. Gorgeous finishes here with king size bed, padded back wall.
What is this palette? Suede black and then suede silver, hardwood floors. Did you guys notice a single plant in the whole property? You spend a fortune on staging the property, but you didn't bring any natural plants inside?
And coming here, these are the 2 best bedrooms we have on this wing. Let's quickly check out this one here. Of course, comes with a king size bed setup.
I don't think we've ever seen a view of the ocean quite like this.
Okay, I wouldn't call this ocean view. On, Western Bel Air, you can get partial ocean views. It's like really a line in the distance. On a very clear day, you might see a smidget of ocean, but don't ever call it an ocean view.
All right, coming here, we have the last bedroom on this wing. This one is the biggest. I just love the furnishings here too. Very minimalist, very to the point.
Very to the point. Extremely generic. Extremely generic.
You have the art installation right at the promontory, right at the edge of the promontory. And this is unlike anything we've ever seen before.
The views are stunning. It's really good view. I mean, you get everything. You get hillside, you get downtown, you get Century City. That's Beverly Hills, the second hill in the back. Amazing. Beautiful, beautiful.
Let's take everybody back to the landing on the second floor. We have this minimalist seating area here with another TV.
See, I would have actually liked to see much cozier, inviting living room. This living room would never get used. I really think that living room should have been instead of one of the bedrooms in the middle, to kind of where you have all the, people could congregate in that corner. I don't see them coming by the staircase to use it.
Coming back here, we have the hallway continue on this side. If you guys remember off of the motor court, this is the section where we have those metal grit details. Another art gallery here.
I mean, why would you want to have an art gallery on the second floor? Like, this is for like family art? Like, this is your own portraits? Like, this would have been a good area for the upstairs living area, right? But it's too far away from the other bedrooms. What are you going to do?
And at the end of this hallway, we have another guest bedroom. This room is facing the back side of the property, another king-size bed, walls of glass opening up to a private balcony. Here, we have the full bathroom, another electric toilet. God knows how much they had to spend just on toilets alone.
How many bathrooms again?
49 bathrooms.
You should have done one more. Just one more, make it 50, Oh my God, 49 bathrooms.
Now I want to take everybody back to the hallway, and this wing takes us to the primary bedroom suite. Before we go in, elevator access on our left, suede walls, and these double doors open up.
Okay, check this out. Here's where the duplex is, okay? This is the, the owner's quarters. This actually was pretty smart of developer to kind of designate and kind of foresee that this property definitely on its core for the owner needs to have a sustainable part where they can kind of just live there, which is kind of ridiculous when you think about it, because you're buying this whole enormous 105,000 square foot home, but then you end up kind of staying in this like a little condo in your own property. But you have to do it because you have to make it a little bit more livable. And they've done that over here. So we got to give them credit where it's due.
Now let's continue our tour on this hallway. I love the vertical lighting that they have on the walls.
See, they got the hallway right for the primary. That's good.
This opening here takes us to the first bathroom. Oversized stone application is also brought here. We have a nice prep area, your steam shower on this side, walking shower here, of course, freestanding tub, perfectly positioned towards the views.
That's actually pretty cool. Like, that's good positioning right there. That would be awesome. Looking at downtown LA view with the backdrop is your lawn and beautiful.
Now here we have the first closet, and this closet is gorgeous. It feels like we're walking into a high-end boutique store.
Not bad. They've done a decent job. This would be a great her closet. It's very bespoke. They've actually spent the money. It looks good.
Now, Mikey, let's take everybody back to the hallway again so we can tour the second bathroom.
Did you notice you have to go through the bathroom to get to the closet? Not ideal.
This one has more of the lighter and kind of neutral tones. Now, bedroom starts here.
Hold on. I think I just spotted something. On the edges and the bottom, looks like there was some water damage. Do you guys see that? Why is it all wavy? That's not good.
First, let's go through this door to check out the second bathroom. As soon as you walk in,
As soon as I walk in, I want to freaking strangle myself. Where is the freaking warmth? Come on, give me something. That jetted tub looks so freaking ugly. Why would you do? You want it to look bespoke. It looks like you just put it there.
now come in here, we have the second walk-in closet, island in the center, more of the darker tones.
What do you mean more of the darker tones? All darker tones. It's just black. I hate that. Like, if you're a man, you have to be in the black room, and if you're a woman, it's the white room. Come on, like, you can't be more original than that.
Coming back here, we have the door, and this is where we have the bedroom itself. Bed set up on the left, perfectly positioned towards the views. I mean, we have the city sparkling.
Really cool. I mean, they put the best location in the property for the primary bedroom. It sticks out. But I want you guys to tell me what you think about the swimming pool floating in the front. It's interesting, but at the same time, it's kind of blocking that continuity with the view. I don't know if I would have liked it a little bit more flush with the ground than just sticking out, because I personally don't like these, like, out of the ground swimming pools.
And stepping outside, we have this private balcony floating above the first floor. And this is where you have your private all glass pool. This is incredible. I mean, the amount of money spent on this pool alone, I don't even want to think about it.
Okay, I think this feature actually looks cooler from downstairs by the pool. As far as functionality, when I saw it in person, I was like, wait a minute, I have to go over the steps to get into the pool. Annoying, right? But yeah, I think it looks better for people who are actually by the pool. Optically, it looks nice.
Now that wraps our tour on this level. I want to take everybody upstairs so we can check out the rooftop deck.
Because we didn't have enough square footage. You need more. This is America. We need more.
Now we're on the rooftop deck, and the first area I want to take everyone is the putting green. For sure, this is the coolest putting green in the city.
No, it's not. There are definitely better putting greens. There's no slope to it. It's just flat with 6 holes in it. Just because you're on a view property doesn't make it the best golf-wise, right? The ball doesn't care if you're looking at downtown LA view or not.
Also, before we leave this section, I want to mention, behind the property, we have a gorgeous detached guest home with 3 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, amazing living room area, walls of glass facing breathtaking views of the Pacific Ocean.
You see what I'm saying? It was a pretty damn cool guest house. I actually liked it a lot more than the main house. That's where I would want to stay in if I was there. It certainly felt like a home a lot more than the main house.
Unfortunately, since we were running a little bit late here, we're not going to get a chance to go down there, but I'm sure our team got some amazing shots of it, so I wanted to mention that.
Another thing they didn't mention is that it has area where you could have a tennis court. Now, rumor has it, again, I got my sources, that the current owner kind of wants to make it an amphitheater for concerts and stuff, and is really being nice to the neighbors to get that approved. It would be interesting where, like, he could invite all the neighborhoods in Bel Air and come hang out there, which is an interesting idea. He kind of wants to make it like the community house for Bel Air, or at least Stradella. Interesting concept. But if you want to see a house that I actually like, click on this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the comments. Oh, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Please. Thank you.